Okay, so the very first thing that you want to do is that you see this little platform over here. You want to make sure to jump on the very first block and then just hold. And then tap this orb over here. And then once you land here, don't just jump right away like this. Yeah, see, that's what's gonna happen. Just make sure to slightly delay that jump. Only by a little bit. Nothing too terrible, you know? And then wait, like when you're at least in the middle over here, and then once you've completed that, make sure to just hold so that you can jump over the spike and then buffer this orb like this. Tap this orb over here right away. Don't tap this one. Make sure to tap this orb over here, and then you can just tap like this. Yeah, you have to jump because see there's a spike over here. And then once you land here, make sure to jump and then buffer the orb, and then buffer this orb as well. You want to wait a little bit to like enter this portal and then jump. Same applies for this one. You just want to wait a little bit and then just tap. And then this orb you can just buffer. And then this orb as well. Now we enter the very first ship, and well, there are two ways you can do this entrance. You will either skip this orb that I just passed, or you will tap it. You can do this part on the most convenient way for you. I just like tapping the orb. Now this part over here is just a bunch of simple maneuvers. You want to tap this orb over here when you enter the portal and then hold. Now there's a little tricky release over here, and well, do you see this little cloud over here? I like to release like as soon as I collide with it, okay? So you can do that as well, and you will pass that release like 100% of the time, like this. And then this is just a bunch of simple straight flying, nothing too freaky. And now here goes the UFO. And well, I've seen a lot of players do this, like after they pass the pink orbs. One, two. Basically they do this entire section over here, like this segment over here in like 2 taps. But you can also do it in one, so like less worry. But anyways, for this part over here, I would recommend you to jump right away as soon as you like glide off of that flashing slab, like this, like so, and then tap these pink orbs like somewhere in the middle, like that. And here, like I mentioned, you can just tap once, and yeah, you will be fine. I just like tapping twice because that's me. And then once you get here, make sure to tap twice for each portal. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or, oops, I'm sorry. You have to tap here once and then over here twice. 1, 1, 1, 2. Then once you get here, you want to tap like when you like fall off of this cloud. And then just don't tap this orb. You will fall down here. And try to focus on this saw as much as you can. And then jump when you're right about to hit it. And then tap this orb just like that. And we passed the pre-drop. Now we get into the duel. And the very first thing that you want to do here is to just tap this orb like right away. And then focus on your top cube over here. Make sure to jump like right away. And then tap this orb right away. And then don't tap any single one of these orbs. Not even this one. Not even like the one like right underneath it. Just tap the yellow orb and you will be fine. And then you want to jump here right away and then buffer this orb like that. And then over here you want to just click and hold like on like this block with the orb over here and the yellow orb over here. And then once your top cube jumps off of this platform, you want to release. And then just relax over here for like a second, or like a split second. And then you want to jump over here, like that. And then once you get here, what I like to do here is, if you just don't like doing this part just like with a bunch of simple clicks, what I like to do is just slightly spam, okay? I know it's not something everyone likes, but you do you. But if you don't want to spam like this, what you can do is just do 1, 2, and just like that. And well, you just want to wait for your cube, like this one, to fall off of this platform, and then you can just focus on the ship and the cube will do itself. And then once you get here, here's a little tricky transition. Sometimes you will like rather pop off of this like transition. Sometimes you will go like super low and sometimes super high. So this is why I recommend you doing this. Just like that. And then the cube will literally just fall into it. Then you will land like this. And so when that happens, you want to click once like this and then do 2 fast clicks like that. And once you enter this portal, do again 2 fast clicks, like that. And then you want to jump here once, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Now here goes another duel, and it's actually like way easier than the previous one. Here, I'll show you. So do you see this little slope over here? You want to tap on it, 1, 2, and then you can then buffer this orb. I'm pretty sure you don't even have to, yeah, see, you don't even have to jump on the slope. I just do it for extra layer of security. And besides, yeah, like I said, you can jump off of this slope. I will just recommend doing it late if you actually plan on jumping off of it. Only so that you could land more, like, properly on this orb. But you don't even have to, like, jump. So, you do you. But I like to just jump, and then you see this orb over here? You want to buffer, and then jump right away, and then tap this orb. And then you just want to relax. And then wait for your top cube to land on the top ground, and then do 2 fast clicks. Basically, you are buffering this and this orb. And then you just want to hold. And then once you get here, you just want to relax, don't do anything. And then you see this platform over here and this one, you just want to jump off of them. And once you are here, what you want to do is jump late. And then just buffer this jump, because you can do that, obviously. And then once you do that, you see these orbs over here and this orb over here. Once you tap them, just hold. Yeah, just like that. It's as easy as that. However, if you don't hold, yeah, see, that's what can happen. That's what can happen like 100% of the time. So what I would suggest you is to just click and hold. And once you do that, make sure to release like somewhere around here. And then, like I said, you just want to release. And over here, you have a lot of space. You don't need to like spam or anything. So like once you get here, you don't even have to like spam. You can just do this part like this. And then if you see this little like thingy over here, don't worry about that. That's a fake. This thingy over here cannot kill you. What can kill you, in fact, you see this? That's a hazard, and this can kill you, of course. You see, there's a lot of room over here, which means like there's much less to worry. Like you don't even have to worry about this thing that I just mentioned in the middle. So what I would advise you for this part is to just like, well, tap like over here, for example, and then you can just relax over here. You don't even have to do this part like this, since there's a lot of room. There's a lot of space to breathe. You can do that part just like how I did. It might come off as awkward, but it will definitely get consistent the more you play this part, okay? And then once you do this, when you hold, you have like an extra input less, which is just like click and hold and then release here. And then just do one wiggle over here, and then just do, this is just a bunch of wiggles, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, just a bunch of zigzag. And then you have this simple mini wave over here, and then just hold. Now, you see this little chain over here? When you enter this ball, you want to tap on it. Or not super early like me. And then you just want to tap over here. And then tap this yellow orb a little bit late. It's not like me, how I did it now. Something like that, okay? And then once you land here, like when you enter this portal, you see this little thing over here? You want to tap on it when you collide with it, just like me, just like how I did it. And then here you just want to relax and then tap when your ball lands on this block over here. And then just tap the pink orb like this, just like that. I don't recommend buffering it because, well, probably in some cases there will be a moment whereas you will probably hit one of these spikes, so I don't advise you that. So just slightly time it, okay? Just do it like me, 1, 2. And over here, this part is pretty easy. Now, the hardest part about it is this, like doing this maneuver properly. So, in this case, what I can advise you is to just, like, relax. And then, you see this little, like, decorational spike? Once you glide off from it, you can start holding, like this. And then, you want to let go once you reach this little decorational thingy. And then, you just want to go up. Simple as that. And this wave over here, just a bunch of easy zigzag. You just want to do one click over here. Now this is the tricky part. Okay, this is arguably the hardest like segment in this entire wave. So what I would advise you is to just do one tap over here and then one more tap over here. Okay, and once that's done, there's another problem. Problem. Yeah, you see this little transition over here? Here goes the bad part. Yeah, see, that's what can happen. So I would advise you to make one more click just for an extra layer of security and to prevent from dying there. And well, once that's finished, once you land on this platform, you want to tap this orb right away and then just do this simple straight flight. And then the straight flight is just like one tap. You can do that easily in one click. And then tap this orb like in the middle. And then you see this orb over here, you want to tap it like in the middle as well. And then there's an orb over here that's kind of nearby impossible to see, but I'm gonna show. So yeah, there's like a platform over here that you can land on, and then there's this green, which means this is an orb that you need to tap. Tap it like this, and then you can click this orb right away, and then this orb right away. And well, here goes arguably one of the hardest parts of the level. This section over here, you actually have to play it a lot to get consistent at it. And then once you get here, well, what I would advise you is to pay attention, well, mostly to the slopes. Once your cube reaches this chain, you want to click like this, and then once you get to this chain, you want to click as well, but make sure to hold. And now, once you've completed that, once you get here, right, what you want to do is tap this late and then do the rest like try to trick yourself thinking it's like quick consistency. And then after you've done that, you want to buffer the first orb right away, because well, what happens if you don't? Yeah, that's gonna be like much worse, because you'll land later on this orb and then you will just crash into this slope like much faster. So make sure to buffer the first pink orb like this, and then you just want to spam, and then make sure to, yeah, of course, buffer the orb, like the blue orb, as fast as you can. And then once you are here, which is arguably the hardest click in this entire section for you PC users, what I would advise you is to use spacebar for this orb. It feels more consistent for some reason. I wouldn't recommend mouse for only this orb. And once you tap the orb, make sure to release right away, because if you just click and hold, well, stuff like that can happen. And something like that, okay? So you just want to reach the orb, you will just fall to your doom, and we don't want that to happen. So after you spam and do the orb, make sure to tap this orb very lightly with spacebar. And then you just want to buffer this orb and then just spam. Easy as that. Now we get over here, you just want to tap like when you collide with this little thingy, like with the arrow, like that, and then jump over here. It's a very easy UFO. You will definitely get consistent at it after enough practice. And then you just want to jump over here, jump like that, jump, 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 jump. Now we get into this slow cube. What I've seen a lot of players do is, like, once they reach this, they just do that. 1, 1, 2. Wow, I never knew you could do that. So basically what they do is, well, they just jump and then buffer these two orbs. And then they just have to click twice more. So what I could advise you here is, when I completed this level, you can do this. So you just want to jump, wait a little bit, and then, like when you tap late, you just want to buffer the orb. Like that. Which means you have like an input less, and then you just have to do this part like usually 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Just like that. It's a pretty easy part. 1, 1, 2. So for this first part, to do it on the most convenient way for you, you will either do it like this, like majority of the people, or you will do it like me, like this. And then once you reach here, you just want to tap when one of your ball, right? Either your top or bottom ball collides with the very frame of these saw blades, okay? And then you just want to click, click, 1, 1, 2. And here goes a very tricky part. Now, this part over here might look actually pretty easy, but it's actually really tricky. Because when you are in the duel with ship, for instance, both of them will become heavy for some reason. So it will feel like it's as if I'm playing on 60 Hz instead of on 240 Hz, or actually on 240 FPS. So what I would advise you is to just focus on your bottom ship. And yeah, I would advise you to play this part a lot, because since it's actually pretty far into the level, you want to make sure to practice this part like a decent chunk. And then once you do this, you just want to relax. And then once you get here, make sure to recorrect yourself like this. And then once you are about like in this kind of area, you want to do one more click. And then you just don't want to do anything so that you could land here. Like, let me show you. Yeah, there's like a fake over here where you can always land on. And yeah, that's basically what I meant. Now over here, you want to do 2 inputs. Really easy ones. Just like that. 1, 2. Oops, I'm sorry. 1, 2. A little bit longer. And then once you reach over here, right? You want to just like do a bunch of easy maneuvering. And then recorrect yourself here. And then everything you see in this area, straight line. And then once you get here, make sure to tap the orb right away. And then once you hit the ground over here, just want to like let go. And then once you enter here, you just hit the orb as fast as you can. And then just drop here. Just a bunch of easy maneuvering over here. Now, here goes the hardest like section in this entire part. So the reason why this part over here that you see is so difficult, even though it might not look like it. Yeah, like I almost first tried it. It might look easy, but here's the reason why this is so difficult. In case you don't know, you saw this. This is an inverted slope. However, that's not a big problem. Players always tend to pass it, but here's an inverted slope over, well, here. Then we have an inverted slope over here. Especially, well, since this is pretty far into the level, you don't want to hit it. So yeah, be cautious. You just want to memorize where each inverted slope is. Like, I'm gonna show every single one. Yeah, there's an inverted slope over here, which is arguably like the last one. Then you just want to like do an easy maneuvering and then just tap the orb. However, I'm gonna show you some tips for this entire area. So what you want to do right away when you are on these slopes, make sure to hold. And then once you get to this area, you just want to do one easy click. Just not like that. Just like, you want to make sure to land just like that. And then you just want to do one maneuver over here, just so that you could fall down in this very weird gap. And then just do some easy maneuvering. Make sure to not go there, because then you die. Make sure to always go to the top. Always choose the top one. And then you just want to hold and then release here. And yeah, there is an inverted slope over here that I showed. So what I could advise you is to, like, once you get here, you just want to make sure to do like 1 or 2 micro maneuvers to prevent landing on it. I know it sounds kind of weird doing it that way, but then that's just my tip, okay? You don't even have to do it. What you can do is just like release, like when you're rather close there, okay? So once you do that, whoop, and then whoop, there we go. Now you get to this wave over here, and what the first thing you expect is to just hold. And well, if you see this little center, you see this center over here, you want to just like let go when you are inside it. And then for you PC users, you can easily do a micro tap just in case if you went too early there. And same applies for this one. You can just hold when you are like in the center of the speed change, and release when you are in the center of the speed change as well. However, you're pretty close to the saw, so you can just do this in case you went this early, just a little bit late. Let me show you what I mean. You can do one micro tap just for like a recorrect, okay? Just to help you, just in case. And then you just want to hold, and then one more tap, and then just relax. Now we enter this ship over here, and then you just want to do some easy maneuvering, and then you just hold. Now there are two ways you can do this part. Something I haven't noticed much people do is this. They just hold. A lot of players tend to go like this. However, you can also do this, just like what I showed. And then just don't do that. Just make sure to like land on the block, and then just a bunch of easy ship control. And then we enter the very last part. And here's something I discovered myself. For the ones that really dislike this first jump, which is very intimidating, what I could advise you for this part is like, you have to sacrifice one transition, which is like literally the entrance of the last cube. So if you land something like this, like early enough, you can just hold. However, don't do it super early, because, well, let me show you. I discovered this today myself. If you go super early, then you have a chance of actually hitting the spike. Yeah, see? Just like that. I'm gonna pause, and yeah, you can actually die to that. I'm just gonna quickly do this, just so it's easier to see. Yeah, see? It's like two or three frames off. So, it's not always 100% recommended. But then, you do you, I guess. You do you. So, what you can do is just like relax, and then just jump like that. And then, over here, you just want to jump over here, and then wait for like a split second on each one of these jumps so that you can jump like this, and then, oops, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just want to relax for a little bit more, because there, you have like one block more, and then you just jump. Oops, not like that. And yeah, that's basically the ultimate phase.